that look good in the winter and thrive in a chicken garden. If you have a chicken garden or are considering adding chickens to your garden, you may be aware that chickens love exploring, and their natural behaviors include scratching and digging at the ground and eating foliage. So I've lost many plants in my garden over the years to the hens' activities. However, I've also found plants that thrive despite the hens' activity. So there is hope. Plants that look good in the winter are evergreen or keep their foliage all year round. I live in North Wales in the United Kingdom, and these plants do well in the climate where I live. My hens leave these plants alone because the foliage is not appealing to them and the plants themselves are robust. However, as young plants, we definitely protected them until they were established, and even now we still protect them around the base, around the roots from extra digging. So we'll put some large rocks there, or tree branches, or some broken papers. Bamboo, it's the clump-forming, non-invasive bamboo, gets about 1 meter high and wide. It's got like a lovely bouncing movement in the wind and a rustling sound. Rosemary smells great and of course is the culinary herb. Sage, a tough woody shrub, and it keeps its leaves in our winters. Bay tree, where you get your bay leaves for cooking. Silver dust or silver ragwort, it's got those white fuzzy leaves and it's a smaller plant and it keeps its leaves all winter as well. We have some evergreen hedge along our border, along with a mixed edible hedge, which is like a variety of different trees that those lose their leaves. And then we have this part, the hedge border, that keeps their leaves all year. And we also have 2 small boxwood shrubs that are growing, and they're slow growing, and we got them very small. But they've survived so far. Broom shrub with lovely bright yellow flowers in the winter. We've cut ours back a lot this year, so should hopefully in the summer have a lot of new regrowth and get a better shape to what we had on this old broom plant we inherited. I also have a few more bush shrubs, newly planted, very small, that hopefully will be on this winter list in the future. I'll let you know when these become more established and when the hens have the chance to interact with them, because they're currently in an avian flu lockdown and kept in their coop. So I hope this gives you some ideas of what might work in your garden with your hens to keep looking good. I'd recommend just walking around your neighborhood for inspiration and just seeing what plants look really nice that you like the look of and look nice in the winter and are robust. Maybe get some height and some depth, and those might be good candidates to try in your garden with your hens. There are no rules like that with hens about what plants per se. Hens don't follow the rules, and there are always exceptions. So if there's a plant you really want and you have your heart set on, give it a try, even if it doesn't fit the rules that usually will work better with hens, because you might find some creative ways to make it work or protect it. And maybe your flock might just be lucky and not be interested in it. You never know. Hi, I'm Beth from Garden City Chickens. Weekly I make a video about my little flock of hens in my little garden in the United Kingdom. Initially, when I brought hens into my garden in 2016, I was a bit naive and optimistic, and I thought, oh, all my plants will be fine, and they weren't. The plants definitely need to be protected around the base, around the roots from the digging and scratching, because when the roots get exposed, that can kill the plant. Or they need protecting around the sides because they'll eat the foliage, or if they're smaller, they can just stand and sit on top of the plant. Once the plants have reached an established height and width, whether they're perennials or annuals, then they're going to be okay around your hens usually. We've had plants that I've tried in the rear garden where our hens are, and they've just never worked out. They needed like extensive protection all the time, like kind of like a cage, and that just really wasn't the look I was going for. So when I have plants that just don't work out, I kind of just throw the towel in after I've tried some things, and I'll move them to the front of my garden where the hens don't go. However, those plants still have to contend with my children, but that's another story. So it's nice to have a second place you can move plants to so you don't lose them all together if they don't work out around your free roaming hens. I've made some other videos about protecting plants in your garden. I'll put a link to those videos in the description below if you're interested in learning a little bit more. What plants have worked in your garden with your hens? Where do you live in the world? What's your climate like? Feel free to comment below or send me a message. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next week. Bye!